Welcome back to High Desert Guardian. I'm Megan Porcher, and last time I promised you that I would touch on proper grip and how that relates to your shot placement. So let's get into it. All right. So if you're new to firearms, or if you have owned a firearm but need to do a little refresh on what a proper grip is, I'm going to show you right here. So first of all, you want to make sure that your strong hand, whether you're right or left-handed, that your strong hand, okay, is high up under this part. This is the beaver tail, okay? So you want it to be up under that as high as possible. I'm going to keep my trigger finger on the side here because that's good practice and a habit that you need to maintain, okay? And then these fingers are just gonna wrap around the grip here, okay? So just like that, your support hand, you're gonna bring it out, and I want you to cant it a little bit, okay? And you're going to bring it up just like this to meet, okay? So your thumbs should be forward, stacked on top of each other, okay? I don't wanna see, you know, this. I've seen that before, okay? And you don't want this, okay? So stack your thumbs, and you want to make sure that you do not have a gap between your hands, okay? So you don't want to see this, okay? You want to seal that gap up, okay? More control. All right, now with these fingers over here on your support hand, you want to wrap them around, and then you want to really grip with that support hand, okay? A tendency people have is to overgrip with their strong hand, and I do this myself if I'm feeling nervous, okay? So when you start to grip too much with that right hand, you will end up getting trigger freeze in that trigger finger, okay? If you're using your hand like this, okay, that it's kind of hard to grip as hard as you're gripping and not have that trigger finger want to grip with it, okay? So if that makes sense, you need to maintain a little bit more of a relaxed grip in your right hand so that you can control that trigger press. The majority of your grip strength is going to come from your support hand. So again, make sure it's high, okay? High and tight under that beaver tail. Trigger finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. These fingers wrap around, okay? And then cant that hand, bring it up to meet. Make sure it's sealed tight in the back, okay? And you're gonna want to feel pressure. So watch this actually, I'll show you. I have so much pressure that I'm applying from my support hand as I'm gripping, pushing it in, that the palm of my hand is gonna come off and look a little white. So do you see that? That's where I'm applying that pressure, is right there, okay? Right there, pressing in, okay? This is going to help with recoil management and better shot placement because of it. So if you have too relaxed of a grip, or a grip that's compromised because maybe you have your support hand, you know, spaced away like this, that's not good. As you are firing successive rounds, you know, that gun is going to start coming up more and more and more, and your shots are gonna start going all over the place, okay? Because this hand's gonna work forward until you just, pretty much you're just shooting one-handed, okay? So, dial in your grip, double check it, and if you start noticing that you're throwing shots, make sure that it's not because your grip is weakened in any area. Okay, so if you are noticing that your shots are scattered all over the place, it's possible it is because your grip is maybe just too weak too. So I remember when I first started out, that was my shot pattern. It was pretty shotgun, okay? A lot did tend to go a little low and left, which can be attributed to trigger finger and pulling that trigger just a little too hard in anticipation, okay? It also came down to my grip was not dialed in where it needed to be. And the biggest issue is needing better grip strength from that support hand, okay? I was wanting to over grip with my right, and so my trigger finger was too tense, and that was pulling shots. And my left hand, if I brought it in, I tended to have this little gap right here that I was talking about, okay? And as I would shoot round after round, my hand, I felt like I was, you know, gripping so tight, but my hand would work its way forward, 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 until it just felt like it was about to slip right off, okay? What I did to fix that, just to kind of reset myself, was I tried to use my index finger on my support hand to kind of anchor in right here. And then I just pressed in as hard as I could. I also got a grip strengthener. And it did come down to I needed to improve my grip strength, and sometimes you just need to work on that a little bit too. So that's how I fixed my scattered shots, okay? Was learning to relax my strong hand enough that my trigger finger was able to press the trigger properly. And then I worked on strengthening my support hand so that I could grip with all the strength that I needed to keep that gun level and flat so that my red dot returned right back to where I was lined up with my target. Hopefully that helps you out. I'm sure there are going to be some questions and comments because there is so much more to talk about with this, other factors, but this is just to get you guys started. Practice that good grip. You can practice it at home with dry fire, but you have to be on the range training with live fire to put it to the test. And that's really important. You can practice it at home all you want with dry fire, but until you're actually putting rounds through it and feeling that recoil, okay, that's what's going to expose how good your grip is. So get out on the range and put it to the test. All right, so that wraps it up for proper grip and how it can affect your shot placement. It should be enough to get you rolling. However, I would love to know if there are any questions or other tips that you would like to see some videos on. So if you have ideas, drop it in the comments below. And don't forget, learn it, train it, own it.